Now here we have the two. I will just delete these two statements and my function remains like this. Okay, let us write some more methods. Now what we want is that we don't want this length and breadth, the values of length and breadth, to be assigned directly in this manner. Okay, so let us create some methods for assigning a value and reading the value of both length and breadth. So what I mean to say is that we will create a method for assigning a value to length and for reading the value of length. So these type of methods which are used for assigning and reading the value of instance variables, these are known as your getter and setter methods. Let me just type it out here. Getter G-E-T-T, getter and setter methods. Okay, so we will write some getter and setter methods. So let us write a setter method for assigning a value to length. Okay, so this method, what it is going to do is that from the main function, just like we are assigning a value here, now instead of assigning a value like this, I will write a method like this. I will create it like this: r1 dot set length, and then I will give the value out here. So what is being done is I cannot directly access the variable, the instance variable. I will use a method to access it, to assign a value. Similarly, if I want to read the value of length, like here I have read the value of length of rectangle R1. So I don't want to do this. Instead, I want to do it through a method which will return to me the length. So I will call it, I'll use a method called get length. So this is a method. I'm calling this method. So I have to write a method called set length, which takes as argument an integer and does not return any value. So since it does not return any value, we are not assigning it to anything else. And here R2 get length will return an integer and it will not take anything as argument. So let us write these two methods. So let us first write the setter method. So setter method does not return anything. As you can see here, it is not returning anything. So void. Return type is void. Then name of the method is set length, and you can see it is taking one argument, that is an integer type. So we will write here int, let's say L, any name you want to give. Okay, so this is setter method. Now what will we do inside this? We want that whatever value is passed here, this 10, whatever value you give out here, that is coming to L, that is being copied to L. So this value we want to assign it to length. So we'll write it like this: length is assigned L. Okay, so this value 10 which is passed from here will be stored in the variable L, and from the variable L it will be stored to length. Alright, now you might be wondering that why are we doing all this, going about all these roundabout ways of assigning the value? We have done it already here using this statement. Now this is because for the beginning I have shown you like this, okay, because you did not have the concepts of methods so far. So you will realize that when we want to implement the 4 pillars of object-oriented programming: abstraction and encapsulation. Okay, so the abstraction principle, it does not allow something from outside to access the data members, certain data members of a class. So what is this? This is another class. This is a class, a different class, and this is a different class. So what we were allowing by this statement is we were allowing the rectangle demo class to access the data members of the rectangle class. Now this very statement, it violates the principle of abstraction of object-oriented concepts. So this is not how you should write it. Instead, what we should do is we should assign, or we should get the values through the use of certain methods. That's why we have this set and get methods. Okay. In the future classes, you will come to know about certain concept called access specifiers or access modifiers. Okay. So when we use those access modifiers with your length and breadth with the instance variable, then you will find that if you write a statement like this, then it will not execute, because this will be wrong. It will not allow you to write a statement like this. You have to access it through methods. So coming back to our method here, so we have written set length. Okay, let us write the getter method also. So get length method, you can see here what we have written. Get length method, it does not take any argument, and this will return some value, the value of the length. So whatever it returns, that is displayed out here. So it should return the length. Length is of type integer, so it should return an integer. And the name of the function is, or the method is, get length. Okay, no arguments. So what does it do? It just returns the value of this variable length. So return length. That's it. So we have written getter and setter methods for length. Similarly, you can write also for the second the instance variable, that is breadth. So I'll just modify it. Everything is same. Breadth. So instead of L, I'll write B. Even if you keep it L also, no problem. Here we have to change. Okay, now we are not assigning to length, we are assigning to breadth. Is assigned B. Okay, and then this one also, we will change the name to get breadth. Get breadth, and then instead of returning length, it should return the breadth. So we have created these 4 methods. Now let us use these. So I will just comment out these, or rather I will, okay, let me keep it. So r1 dot set breadth, I will assign 5. Okay, so same here, these 2 statements we will just close this. So r2 dot set length is 12 and r2 dot set breadth is 11. Values are remaining same, only how we are accessing this is different. So same here, just like we use get length, so I'll use get breadth, but again this is a method, so like this. Similarly here also, get length, we are calling the method get length, and here we are calling the method get breadth. And this, see, if you don't put these parentheses here, then it will assume that get breadth is a variable, is an instance variable of the rectangle class. Okay, when you give these parentheses, it will understand that it's a method. Okay, so we have made changes, we have to save these changes. Now we will go back to our code. So we'll run it from the command prompt again. Remember, every time you make a change to your program, you have to compile it again. So you have to compile the program again. Now let's run this. So you can see It's giving exactly the same way in which what we got before. Alright, but now we are using not the directly, we are not accessing the data members, we are accessing them via the methods.